There's a lot of noise around the Chicago Bears, a lot of excitement around the team as well. But the question is, on today's episode, how do we judge the success for the 2025 season for the Chicago Bears? We're going to just talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content this morning, y'all. I want to talk about one thing, right? I want to have some interaction. I know it's early, but I want y'all to start getting your brains together and thinking, what is success for the Chicago Bears in the 2025 season? What is that success going to look like, right? Like coming from a team that won 5 games last year, that was a disappointing season, how do you judge success this year? Is it that you want to see them get into a certain win total? Is it a way that you want to see this team look on the field? The success that Ben Johnson can have looking at here coming in as a year one coach? Is it the Bears just finally look like they're on the right direction and path to start building? What is success for this Bears team in the 2025 season? That is an important part of all of this that I want to discuss on today's episode, because I think that this is a season where it can be easily to get caught up in playoffs, right? Double-digit wins, win of the division, whatever you want to say there. You can easily get caught up in that. And one could say you're not wrong for getting caught up in that either, if that's where you stand at with it either. Like, I can look at that and say that as well. So there's a lot of different questions that you can ask yourself in regards to this and what it is as success for the Bears. Personally, I've tried to take more of a straightforward approach and thought process. What it is that I look at this team and I see the makings of something, right? I see the makings of what this team could potentially turn into. I see what this team, what the groundwork that's been laid down as far as improving the trenches, getting the weapons that Ben Johnson needs here, but is doing all that in year one, which the Bears did a good job. This team is starting to look and feel like a Ben Johnson offense and a Dennis Allen defense on paper, right? That's on paper so far. It's starting to look like that. But is that enough? Is that enough for the Chicago Bears to then try to turn around and turn this into a playoff caliber season? That's what the Bears have to ask themselves, right? Like, it's great for your team to start looking on paper, but we haven't necessarily seen it on in reality yet, right? Like, we haven't gotten to see it in live action in football games yet. So while on paper, yeah, we're starting to feel like a Ben Johnson offense. Yeah, on paper, we're starting to look like a Dennis Allen defense. We're starting to have some of that identity that you need and that you want there, but is it enough? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. And that's the one that I don't have necessarily the answer to as it stands right now. I look at this team and I see and recognize what this team could be on paper. I think you've done a really good job of bringing in the identity that you need. As far as on the offensive side of the ball, you brought in the weapons that Dennis Allen is going to need. I'm sorry, the weapons that Ben Johnson is going to need. You shored up that offensive line. Still ask some questions about it for sure. Make no mistake about it. It's not in a place yet to where you look at it and you're like, hey, we're perfect, because that left tackle position is still going to bring about some questions. But outside of the left tackle position, you've went out and you've gotten veterans at every other position that's needed, right? And Darnell Wright, of course, who we all know Darnell Wright wasn't the problem last year. He still has some things that he definitely can grow and develop on for sure, but he wasn't the problem with that team. So you've gotten that together. You've gotten your slot receiver, which is a really good thing that Ben Johnson needs. You have Luther Burden there, and if for some reason Luther Burden in the rookie year is a little bit disappointing, you went out and got a veteran in Olamide Zaccheaus as well, who is going to thrive at the slot position, and that's where his best position is. So you got that together. Rome and DJ Moore, you're going to need their chemistry with Caleb to get better, right? That we've talked about that before in a different episode. And then Caleb Williams. I think a lot, of course, as with every team on the offensive side of the ball, is going to come down to how good is Caleb in year two? how good of a quarterback is he, right? We already kind of forced him to be more of a runner last year than he wants to be. Caleb Williams likes to be able, like, he can make plays with his legs, but ideally Caleb Williams is looking to make plays down the field with his arm. He wants to gamble. He wants to be that gunslinger. And between his own accuracy issues as well as the pressure that he was under, it just wasn't able to materialize in the way that we wanted it to, but it was year one. What growth and steps does Caleb Williams take under Ben Johnson, Declan Doyle? Our running game is one of the biggest question marks here for the Chicago Bears, but like Crimson has pointed out, I don't know if he's in the chat yet, I haven't looked at it, and what other people have pointed out, you've improved your offensive line, and that should then help your running back crew be better than what they were last year, just off the fact of having a better offensive line, but still some question about the talent that you have there, right? So overall, like, the offensive, the identity seems like it's there. But as Bears fans we all know is the fact that things don't always go according to plan and what they look like on paper for the Chicago Bears. Unfortunately, we've been here before where it looked like we were going to be on the precipice of something, and it ended up turning to shit. Now, I don't think that that's going to happen under Ben Johnson. A lot different than being under Shane Waldron. But this is an offense that it still has a lot to prove. It has to prove that it can keep Caleb upright. Caleb has to prove that he can be that quarterback that he says that he wants to be. All those things still have to be proven. And you can't prove them until you get on the football field. You just can't, right? So we'll see what happens with that. Well, we'll see how that develops for this team overall. But, we'll see, right? And then on the defensive side of the ball, I like what we've done on the defense. I know there are some people that they still have huge questions on that defensive line. Listen, I've gone in, I've looked at some tape. I think that I think that Dayo Odeyingbo is going to be a monster with his physicality alone. Is going to help take off some of those double teams on Montez Sweat because he's such a big body that uses his speed and strength. I don't think that you're going to be able to double Montez as much as you did last year because just that big body of having Dayo Odeyingbo there, as well as Grady Jarrett and Javon Dexter on that interior, that's going to help a lot. But then another thing that we did last year that really hurt this Bears team is we didn't blitz at all. We weren't an aggressive play-calling defense at all. And I think that's going to change considerably under Dennis Allen, that we're going to be a lot more sending an email to my daughter's school. And it's going to be quite changed and more aggressive than what we were last year. And that's an important thing in all this. Like, just the fact that we weren't an aggressive play-calling defense last year, that we were kind of just ho-hum, taking whatever or not forcing the offense to really come out of and adjust to us, that held the Chicago Bears back a lot last year, right? And I don't think we're going to have that same problem this year at all. I just don't think we're going to have that same problem. I think that all are things that play a part and a role into this as well, and that's going to go to the Chicago Bears to learn how to fix that. So I think a lot of the things that we're looking at from this team, we have bits and pieces of it on paper. We just got to see it. And I'm somebody that until I see it, because, I'm jaded, I can admit it. Until I see it, I can only believe it so much. I've been a Bears fan too long. I can't go off anything that I can't see. So that's where we stand at. But let's see how people are feeling this morning. We got Ken in the building. It says, top of the morning, bro. Blessings and prayers to all, and always bear down. Appreciate that. Tony's in the building. Good morning, Tony. I think we are a 10-win team. All right, that's fair. That's fair, Gregory. I expect Rome to emerge as a top running wide receiver this year. Let's hope so, Crimson. He held the ball too long. That's not always true. He did have some of that for sure, but also there were times where he couldn't even get a time to look downfield before the offensive line allowed him to be under pressure. So both can be true. It wasn't one or the other. I would like our team to look like they joined the 21st century. Bears junkie, bro. I talked about that on Bleacher Report yesterday. That was basically the focus of what I talked about on Bleacher Report yesterday for my episode over there, is that it just would be nice to really get this team to catch up with the times. And we haven't done that in far too long. Far, far too long. I'm not a fan of Swift. There's a lot of people that agree with you on that one, for sure. I see Luther Burden getting a ton of catches potentially this year, drop-offs and screens. Agree with you. I agree with you on Dayo. Yeah, listen, and that's the calculated risk that I think they made, right? Like the way they structured his contract, $20 million in the second year, $18-ish million in the third year. you don't pay a player that much if you don't believe in them. I just don't think that, right? So I think that Dayo's a calculated risk, and I think he's something that you bring to this team that is going to help defenses adjust, and then you're still waiting for Austin Booker and Daniel Hardy to see how these guys are going to grow and develop for sure. But I think Dayo Odeyingbo, that big body, that combination of speed and strength that he has there, that's going to bring, especially, again, it's about what the defensive line is going to be as a whole, right? So when you look at Dayo as just one player, you can definitely pick apart holes and things in that for sure. But then when you start looking at the the defensive line overall, you got Dayo as that big body, strong, all that. You got Grady Jarrett and Javon Dexter on the interior that are pit bulls. Both those guys, pit bulls, right? Like, let's be clear there. And with Andrew Billings coming behind those two guys. You got Montez Sweat. We already know what Montez can be when he's on a at least average defensive line, right? And so now you've helped free that up. And then let's not even talk about you're bringing Kyler Gordon now on more blitzes, right? TJ Edwards is another pit bull. The coverage that you're going to have, because guess what? We're going to run more man coverage, which I tell you what, Jalen Johnson, the shit he's been talking, now that you're not going to be in as much zone, let's see what you can bring here. So I think when you start looking at how all the pieces start fitting together, that's where you start seeing, okay, all right, maybe this can work. Maybe this can work. The Bears have to show us in 2025. Agree with you. Show me, right? Show me error, because I'm tired of getting excited about shit that turns into shite, right? I'm tired of that. Daddy duties never stop. Especially, it's the last week of school here, people. And I swear I've been in contact with my kids' teachers more this week than I have at any other time. It's like, y'all waited till now to keep hitting me up? This is what we doing? That's crazy. That's crazy. Bears Junkie says, how can you be a Bears fan and not be jaded at this point? Hey, I listen, if there are Bears fans that have not been jaded because of the state of this team over the last 20 years, hey, shout out to you. Like, shout out to you, man, because I don't know how to do it, man. Having all the chess pieces doing nothing if you don't actually know how to play chess, that's a great point. Great point. Crimson's been on it, man. Crimson's been on it. I need to see the Bears as an organization take a huge step in the right direction. Need to see that Ben is legit head coach. Need to see growth from Caleb. And 3, need to see the trenches on both sides play much better. And I think those are all fair, broski. All fair there. Just joined, but a competent offense for sure. Need big years from Odunze and more. Right? And we haven't gotten into the tight end and the 12-man personnel, right? And so that's a thing too. Like Ben Johnson, the 12 personnel that he likes to go to, you have the guys now to do it. There's no question about it. You have the guys now to do it. What was the update on Trey Hendrickson? Did the Bengals acknowledge it? I don't think so. Caleb apologist, y'all blame everything but the problem. See, I think this is where your lack of intelligence, and I can look at you and tell that you're an idiot, right? I can look at you and tell that you're one of the children that No Child Left Behind actually looked at and say, you know what, we actually good on not leaving people on not leaving some behind. Some of you motherfuckers really needed to be taken out by process of elimination and survival of the fittest. Boy, how do you look ashy in a picture? How does your aura speak through as dry through a picture, my boy? First of all, if that's the Avi that you picked, that means that you chose that picture. Out of everything at your disposal, that's what you chose, and you look like a struggle. Like your Avi screams of nothing but dumbassery, struggle, and depression. That's what it looks like. So shut the fuck up. Don't listen. This ain't ESPN. I ain't Pat the Designer. I'm not a nice person. You stupid, and you're dumb, and you look dry. My boy, like go put some lotion on your soul. You need some hydration, my boy. Out here sucking dick for water. Calm down. Water's free. Chill out, my boy. All right? Like don't come in here and get cooked. Like don't let it be early in the morning to make you think that Petty Roosevelt ain't ready to go to start off the day. Petty Roosevelt is who I actually am. Haize is who I be so I can operate in public as a normal person. Just be aware of that. Even if we don't get the trade offer done for Trey Hendrickson per Brad Biggs, we have Dayo Turner as a utility defensive line, and even D-Walk if we bring him back as depth. Agree with you. I think that's really good, great points there, to be honest with you. As a Lions fan, I like watching the show. Appreciate that, P. And we're not listen, some of us in the chat are a little bit crazy, but we're not a page that is going to hate you because you're a fan of another team. Just don't be disrespectful, bro. Like, that's it. That's it. It isn't a morning without morning roast by Haize. Listen, I came in here with the right energy. I was chilling. Do you think we should really take a swing at Trey Hendrickson? In my honest opinion, I think we should. But then again, how much assets does City want in return? I've said this. We had a whole kind of live episode on it, but I'll kind of recap what we said here. I think that Trey Hendrickson, if you feel confident that you could be a playoff team without Trey Hendrickson, then make the swing with Trey Hendrickson. I have this thing in sports where I don't feel like you make a huge swing like that just to become a playoff team. I think you make a huge swing like that when you already feel confident that you can make the playoffs, but you want to take a step further than that, right? So I think, if per Brad Biggs in the report of a second-round pick and then a later pick, if that's what it takes compensation-wise, you have my attention. But then you have to start looking at the money, right? And the Bears would have to restructure some contracts. What does an extension look like for Trey Hendrickson? And then I think that's going to make the determination there for sure. I like how some people like to be dumb in this chat. Just imagine that they did this to you in real life. Bruh. I honestly think Javon is going to hit the edge a lot more. I don't think he's going to play on edge very much at all. But we'll see. We'll see. As much as I like Trey, considering our cap situation, I'd rather see what we have in Dale and Austin Booker. And completely agree with you on that one. It's funny how all the Bustin Fields holdouts gave Bustin 3 seasons to prove himself, but only give Caleb 1 season to prove himself. It is what it is, man. Laughed my ass off. Petty Roosevelt on yesterday's show. Now this morning we are spoiled. That's funny. We're going to not only win the division, we will be in the playoffs and possibly Super Bowl run. Bear down. Listen, bro. That's a tall test, man. That's a tall test. Listen, I'm a fan. I'm not delusional. Not saying you are. I'm not trying to come at you. You're right to have you haven't said anything that I've seen before that screams is like delusional. But to be a Super Bowl contender in year 1 of a new head coach, year 2 of a rookie quarterback, yeah, man, that's a little bit difficult. So we shall see, though. We shall see. Listen, I hope you're right. I really do hope you're right, bro. I hope you're right. Big Drip dropping early. Hey, listen, I had to get this one up out the way. I got 4 episodes I need to record it today. So I was like, do I pre-record this, have to edit it, color grade it? Because for those that don't know, the reason why it looks a little different color-wise when I'm live than when on a pre-recorded episode is because I do a whole movie grade, color grade to my videos. Is it OD? Yeah, but it is what it is. Caleb as a rookie threw for almost 1,000 yards more than Bustin has in any season of his career. Amazing. Listen, you know me. I'm not somebody I feel like you got to knock Justin to boost up Caleb, but it is what it is. Caleb is our quarterback. That's who we rolling with. The Haize roast do hit different in the morning. Dark roast just don't cut it. That's hilarious, man. If Caleb is as good as we think, then our draft picks become that much more valuable because we're going to run out of money eventually. That's a great point. That's definitely a great point. The confidence I have in this new coaching staff as a whole is something new to me. I really feel they're going to have this team with new eyes to the game. And that's what you hope. You go out and you spend money on a coach, right? You make a coach, which the Bears have never done. You make a first-year head coach, one of the highest paid coaches in the league from day one. There's complete reason to have confidence in that coaching staff at that point in time. I just feel like there is. Dexter isn't a DM. People give that a rest. Yeah, I listen. I don't want to roast anybody just for having a difference of opinion. I've never gotten the Javon Dexter to defensive end talk. I feel like one person said it, and then that happens sometimes. One person says something, and people are like, let's do that. And then it starts snowballing through the fan base. And it's like, okay, hey, we'll see. We'll see. The biggest area for success is Caleb Williams taking major steps towards being an elite quarterback. Ben Johnson helped golf, so I'm very interested to see what can happen with Caleb Williams. I mean, Caleb's a big, important part of all of this. All of this, period. Caleb Williams' development can take this pretty far. So you got to have that. Grown man saying busting is weird as fuck. I mean, yeah, it's like just call him by his name. And just call him by his name. So I would have liked to see Bears reinforce the O-line and deep spots more in the draft. Dahlman and Jackson history of injuries were starting a rookie, but I hear you. And you've been pretty consistent on that criticism. I just think that I just view it as us having more depth than you do. I think that's fine. Dork ass Dungeon and Dragons. Like, who you brought up? You're telling on you. See, this is how you know when people are stupid. You tickle Pat Booty. So first of all, you brought up Dungeons and Dragons in a football conversation when I said that you look ashy and dumb. So you're the one. I've never even thought about Dungeons and Dragons when talking sports. And then you've now admitted that Pat, the designer's butthole, is on your mind. My boy, it seems like you're battling your own thoughts. The spirit of Diddy is within you, my boy. You got to fight that spirit of Diddy. Go and drink some holy water because you're already ashy, and we know you suck dick for water, so that's the first thing. But the fact that you got another man's booty hole on your mind is a little bit weird, my boy. Like, it's a little bit weird. Get that spirit of Diddy up off you, bro. You over here channeling 607 Unk, bro. It's a little weird. It's a little weird that early in the morning you thinking about man butt. But, I mean, to each his own. We don't discriminate here. Whatever you need to help yourself is cool. We ain't going to judge you, but really, man butt early in the morning, that's what's on your mind? But you know what? You do look like a living dry-ass booty hole, so that actually makes sense. You are what you eat. That makes sense, my boy. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If the trenches play well, the Bears play well. It's not as simple as that. But I do think having above average play in the trenches helps your game so much in so many areas for sure. I've always supported Chicago Bears passers no matter who they are. Not going to change that in my fandom, from Rex to Jay to Mitch to Justin to Caleb. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong in that one. Loki, I'm streaming, son. I can't cuddle with you while I'm streaming. Move. You're too big. The power of oil compels you. The power of oil compels you. That's funny. Seen a report last night, Joe Tooney's close to extension. I hope so. Like, and you guys know, once the extension is announced, we'll be live. So I was kind of hoping it was going to be announced today. That could be the league topic today, but you know, it is what it is. The spirit of Diddy. I love the show. Get him. I mean, listen, bro. Like, hey, you know, you're conjuring up the spirit of Diddy. It's a little weird early in the morning. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But but overall, let me know what you guys think down below. For everybody who's live right now, leave a comment. How do you judge success for the Chicago Bears this season? What's the win number that you have to get to feel like the season's a success? Or if it's not based off wins, which is fair if it's not based off wins, if it's something based off something else than that's maybe a little less tangible as far as like a stat sheet, leave that comment down below as well. We want to hear from you guys on that one for sure. A grown-ass man thinking about another other man's, but it's wild, bro. Like damn, like you couldn't come up with any other jokes. You went right to butthole. Like that says a lot about where you are as a person, in my opinion. If that's what you went to. My boy said, "Oh, you call me dry and ashy? Booty holes." Like what? How did we get here? How did we get here? How did we get to the point of it being here? How did we get here? That's crazy, man. Early morning football talk, and booty holes. That's hey, you know, it is what it is, man. But all right, y'all. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in with me this morning. I know Crimson is on the West Coast. It's like 5 a.m. your time. We appreciate you for tuning in with us, man. Make sure you guys are following us at Shy Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'll see you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Chi-Town up. Bear down, y'all.